Hi everyone, so it's been a while, I know, and I apologise for that, but today I'm going to talk about autistic inertia and what that means for me. So as far as I'm aware, and I'm by no means any expert, autistic inertia is having difficulty transitioning with things or starting things or coming back to something if you started something and then being distracted by something else and have to come back to it. And it's sort of the difficulties flipping between things, or like I said, starting things or finishing things, transitioning from one thing to another. And I have difficulty with this. And so do my husband and my son, all autistic, but all very different in the way we have difficult things. My son has very, very challenging time transitioning from one thing to another. For example, if he's playing his computer game and I call him and it's lunchtime, he'll have a real difficulty stopping the computer game and coming to have lunch. For me, it's a bit different. So things that I can really highlight, two instances that really I find difficult, are when I'm in the car. It doesn't matter whether I'm driving or whether I'm a passenger, but particularly if I'm driving and I'm alone in the car, when I arrive at my destination, wherever it may be, but I'll use for this example home. So I'll arrive home, and usually I don't enjoy driving. I find it quite stressful. So by the time I get home, I'm usually super pleased to be home and just really want to get inside. But even though I really want to get inside, I tend to sit in the car and check my phone. And it's not because I'm like got this massive fear of missing out on like what's happened on social media or anything like that. It's just a thing. I just get there and I'll sit and in my car and I'll just look at my phone, or I'll just sit and just chill for a minute. And it's frustrating because it's not because I want to stay in the car. I might be really sort of desperate to get in, but it's like something stops me. And I find that really frustrating. And interestingly enough, my husband has the same thing with the car. And even after like a really long journey in the car, he will do the same thing, and he'll stop and he'll look at his phone and he'll sit and just sort of almost like just digest the fact that you've stopped. And it's really frustrating because all we want to do is actually get inside and not be in the car anymore. Another one that I find really frustrating, and the biggest one for me, is in bed at night, and I've got in bed and I've enjoyed reading my book. I love reading at night. It's the only time I can really read because I don't have the time during the day, and also it makes me really sleepy. So I will sit and I'll read. I'll be really enjoying my book, and then obviously I get really tired, so my eyes start going. I think, oh, okay, enough book now. Can't really understand what I'm reading anymore. Time for bed. So I'll put the book down, take my glasses off, and instead of just getting up and going for a wee before I go to sleep, when I'm in my 40s now, I can't just go to sleep. I have to always get up for a wee, unfortunately. I can't just put the book down and go for a wee and come back to bed. Literally, I'll put the book down, I'll sort of, rub my eyes, I'll sit there and I'll stim basically. So I'll pick at my fingers, I'll, rub my chin or whatever it is. And I'll sit there and I'll be almost asleep. Like, I'm so desperately tired and all I want to do is go to sleep. But because that means I have to get up and go to the loo and then come back into the room, it's just something that stops me doing it. And it's so utterly frustrating because I'm so tired. And I've got to points before where I'll be doing some sort of little stim and then I'm almost asleep. And I'm like, come on, get up. Don't be silly, just get up, go to the loo so you can actually get some sleep. It's so incredibly frustrating. And I never really sort of thought about it that much. I was always just, it was like, oh, that's just a thing. I wonder why that is. That's frustrating. And it wasn't until obviously I had my autism diagnosis and started looking into it more that I realised it was this inertia, this autistic inertia, and it is a thing, and that people do struggle to move on from one thing to the next. So they're the two. There are other little things during the day that that bother me, that I have difficulty transitioning to, but those two things are really, really big things. And they're big things as in, they're not, they don't ruin my life, but they're frustrating, especially the one where I want to go to sleep, because I can spend a good 5, sometimes 10 minutes just sort of laying or sitting there stimming instead of actually getting up and going for a wee and going to sleep, which I really want to do. So what do you do? What do you struggle with this inertia? Do you find it difficult transitioning from one thing to another? Do you get stuck in one place like I do? I get stuck in bed, not able to sort of move and get out and come back in again. It does happen in the mornings as well, and not in a kind of lazy, oh, I'm too tired to get up way, just in a, I can't physically bring myself to get up and I have to really force myself to do it. So yeah, what is your thing? What do you find difficult with that? Is it something that hinders your life, or is it something that you just, like me, find a bit frustrating, but you know, it's not a biggie in the grand scheme of things? I'd love to know your comments. Please get in touch, and have a wonderful day.